Hey everyone, Mario again, coming at you with another entry of the Streak-A-Thon. Before I get too far into this, I want to apologize for the weird lighting. It's late at night as I'm recording this, and I don't want to turn the top light off because the birds are asleep. I almost said the bears are asleep. The bears are asleep, that would be a weird little situation. Now, I am in the third match in the Undertaker streak, the infamous WrestleMania 9 match with Giant Gonzalez. Now, it's been years since I've watched this match, and when I first started watching it was when I was still in that period where I was still new to watching wrestling, to where you can't really tell a good match being worked from a bad match being worked unless there's a lot of bad stuff. And I guess I was still caught up in the grandeur and spectacle of it all, because I don't remember it being that bad other than like a couple moments. But watching it again, I'm like, yeah, this match sucked. I can see why people always talk trash on this. Before you get to the finish, that is. Then that really makes it over the top. And the match. Before I talk more about the match specifically, I got to go into a little bit of the backstory of it. I'm going to be glancing down because I have it on my phone, so please forgive me if I'm going like this. Now, the feud with Giant Gonzalez is an offshoot of The Undertaker's feud with manager Harvey Whippleman. You know, the only male to win the WWE Women's Championship. Now, The Undertaker had feuded with his protege Kamala the year before, where he faced him at SummerSlam, and then at Survivor Series, where he beat him in a casket match. Now, Whippleman vowed revenge, so he introduced Gonzalez at the 1993 Royal Rumble and had him attack The Undertaker. Undertaker was eliminated, and as you all know, when you eliminate The Undertaker from the Royal Rumble in a manner like this, you're gonna pay. No forgiveness this time, to steal some lines from his later theme song. So it was on. Now, Gonzalez, before this, wrestled in WCW as El Gigante. And before that, according to Bruce Pritchard at least, on his podcast, Vince McMahon had no interest in him. Because they all knew that Gonzalez wasn't the best worker, but his size, made him an attraction. Now, his matches in WCW I haven't seen, but from what I hear, to steal a line from Pritchard, they were the drizzling shits. But once he became a free agent, Vince was like, yeah, we gotta get him. If there's anyone who's gonna get the best out of him, it's me. I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. And they signed him, and they decided to put him in a feud with The Undertaker. It's like, goddamn, pal. Undertaker's a big guy. He's never been made to look small. We gotta, just a visual of The Undertaker standing right across the ring from Giant Gonzalez. It'll make The Undertaker look small. And then, of course, as Pritchard would like to say, the bell rang. Because it is a good visual that when we see The Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez staring each other down during the match. But then, as I said, the bell rang. And the match, from the time the bell goes till the time the bell rings again, it just doesn't work as a whole. I mean, there are some good moments, like when Taker gets put up on this middle rope and is choking him because he's now eye level with Giant Gonzalez. That was a nice moment. And then Taker also does old school to him. Though he does mess up right at the beginning of the match where his first punch does not connect with Gonzalez. Or doesn't look like it does. But the punches after that, he connects. Gonzalez's punches, they connect, but they don't really look that convincing. If anything, you could say, yeah, they're a little believable, but mainly because he's such a big behemoth of a man. But he just worked a little too slowly, and just his style. If he was wrestling 2000's Undertaker, they might have been able to get something out of the match, because Taker's style of wrestling as the character had changed from his early years till then. And if he was wrestling at someone else, he might have gotten a better match out of it, but early 90s Taker with Gonzalez, not a good match in ring-wise. Because, as I mentioned in the last two videos, Taker's style during this period was basically no sell, no chops, punches, blows, and then, his signature maneuvers. Not really a lot of complex in-ring work. I mean, his later years, it wasn't like doing suplexes or flips and kicks and all that. It would have been interesting to see Taker attempt them, but the most flippy thing we ever saw him do is that over-the-top rope thing. But his psychology and stuff was a lot better later on. Just his early 90s stuff, like I said, not a good fit for Gonzalez. But then again, I don't even think someone like CM Punk, Randy Savage, or Shawn Michaels could have gotten a great match out of Gonzalez. I mean, as El Gigante, if I remember correctly, did he wrestle Ric Flair? That Nature Boy himself, who can usually get a good match out of anyone. Funny enough, Flair later wrestled Taker at Mania, but that's several matches down. Now, to add to this, the finish of the match is by disqualification. That's right. The third entry in the legendary streak is a disqualification victory. Now, this is before they realized, this guy's got a streak, so we need to build this up. So, this early, it's like, okay, I can sort of see why they give him a disqualification victory. And it furthers the feud and leads to their blow-off match at SummerSlam. And it's the old school wrestling thing of using ether, as they would call it, but they say it's chloroform on screen. And the announcers do a pretty good job of selling it. He's like, what's that smell? Or as Vince would say, what's that smell? And Savage even saying, this ain't smell-o-vision, but I could tell you that's ether. And they knock him out and then take him to the back. And of course, Gonzalez spends a couple minutes gloating, which I thought that went on a little bit too long. The only good thing that came out of it is he attacked a referee. It's like, it's always nice to see a heel attack a referee. And he chokeslammed, I believe it's supposed to be Earl Hebner. Could have been Dave, but I'm more assuming this is Earl by this point. And then afterwards, the bell rings. The bell dongs, I should say, because it's Undertaker's team. And Undertaker comes back out, and he looks, just the look on Taker's face is like, you pushed the Taker button. You shouldn't have done that. And I think it was Heenan who says it, you can't kill a dead man, or something to that effect. And Undertaker basically chases him away, and that's the match, basically. There's two behemoths going at it in a incoherent mismatch of styles. A couple interesting little spots that Taker normally does in his matches. Chloroform, and then Taker coming back out, and that's the gist of the match. The announcers do their job selling it. I mean, this is Jim Ross's first night. It's WrestleMania 9, the infamous Togo WrestleMania outside in Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. And Bobby the Brain Heenan's on commentary as well, and so is Randy Savage, and they do a good job. But if there's anything that was missing from this, is probably Gorilla Monsoon, because I know they put Ross in there, because, it's Jim Ross. You got to put him in there, but this is his first WWE appearance, so I don't think he was fully comfortable in this company as of yet. So he didn't have the same reactions, and I haven't seen him a bunch of his I don't know if he called any other matches with Heenan, so I don't know how his chemistry developed with him. But here he didn't have the same chemistry with Heenan that Heenan had with someone like Gorilla. Because his chemistry with Gorilla was amazing. Like, there's a couple times during the commentary, I'm like, Gorilla would have reacted a lot to that. He would have been saying stuff like, will you stop? And I actually said it in my head mentally during it, will you stop? That's all I say him to it. And Savage, he's decent on commentary. He had a couple good moments in there. But other than the commentary and a couple of those spots, there's really nothing in this match. You can really skip this match. The only reason I put myself through the pain of watching it was because I'm doing it for this. And there's another sad thing to mention. This is the match right before the main event. So think about this. You see this stinker of a match, which the fans did react. They booed the whole ether thing, but it's hard to tell if that's just them booing the heel or if some of them were actually legitimately angered that was the finish. But they cheered Taker when he came back out, so I guess that shows they really were behind Taker. And this was also the Undertaker's first WrestleMania match with an elaborate entrance, because it came down in the cart being pulled by the two gladiators with the Vulture in tow. Fitting. Vulture, dead man. He's just sitting there all stoic on it, like really selling the dead man gimmick. First elaborate entrance. But think about it. You go from this match to the main event that leads into Hogan being Hogan and inserting himself in a place that he shouldn't be inserting himself. Because as Vince would say, Hogan must pose, damn it. So, that back-to-back thing. No wonder people say this is a kind of a down WrestleMania when it comes to the ending thing. Because you go from this match to that whole debacle. And of the three matches, this is Taker's latest spot on the card thus far. It just had to be this match. Now, if they had done this with his Jake match, that would have been better. Because this Jake match I could see being a match right before the main event. But this one, boy, like I said, you could just skip this match if you want. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. Unless I'm watching the pay-per-view as a whole.